Good morning, YouTube. Just wanted to welcome y'all to the end of week 6. I am headed to my weekly doctor appointment and ultrasound. As long as I am with the fertility doctors, I will go weekly, and they will do a weekly ultrasound and blood work and a urinalysis just to make sure that things are okay. Last week when I went, they ended up calling me back and telling me that I had E. coli in my urine, and I have absolutely no clue how you get that. And TMI alert, but they just kept telling me, just make sure you're wiping from front to back when you go to the bathroom. And I'm like, well, duh, what woman doesn't know that? So anyway, I have no clue how I got E. coli, but I don't eat raw meat. I'm real weird about my meat. Like, it has to be pretty well done for me to eat any of that kind of stuff, and I don't eat meat out very often either. So sorry for the weird lighting. I can't find a angle that works well, but anyway, I have gotten like 6 new subscribers this week, and I'm really excited about it. So welcome, and thanks for joining us on this journey. We're pretty excited, and I am very hopeful that when we go today that we will actually have a little bean that we can see, because last week it was just an empty sack, and they were unable to tell me whether or not it was going to be viable. So let's hope we just have another slow grower like I had with Cecilia, and my next update will be when I add the footage in from the ultrasound of today. So see y'all in a few minutes. Bye.
Was it
still empty?
Was it a week behind last week? How far behind was it?
It was a week.
A week,
well,
right
you
at a
said
week.
a little over a week is what you said. Like, you couldn't get a gestational age or anything off of it last week.
Okay. Definitely looks like it's grown.
It was not even 2 centimeters last week, so.
It's 5 weeks and 3 days today, so about a week and 2 days behind where you're supposed to be. So still too early on this machine to see a heartbeat yet.
We can't even see a baby in there yet, though.
But I do see the yolk sac, which is this little white circle that's over here in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gives the baby its blood supply. And we see that before we ever see a baby. So that's a good sign.
Now, what's this over here? Is that the bleed again?
Uh-huh. It is. Have you had any
No, it's not
clotting
had
or
any.
anything? Well, with it being there, you still could. You know, the possibility is there if it ever makes its way through your cervix. It still looks small, so I wouldn't expect it to be much at all.
Is that the cyst on the left ovary, or is that the bleed?
This is the bleed in the uterus.
does that do?
That's just showing where there's blood flow. And if there's blood, that's lighting up within the bleed, then that usually is a sign that it is actively bleeding. But it didn't seem any, so it has that appearance of just old blood that's just kind of clotted and just hasn't reabsorbed yet. This is your cervix that I'm measuring. And it looks normal. And you said the cyst was on your right ovary?
Left.
Okay.
And it was just over 2 centimeters last week.
Okay.
My left is kind of high. It's just uncomfortable. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It happens often.
What's the cyst that I'm measuring?
It looks a little bit smaller.
About 1.5 centimeters.
Now what's that in the middle?
This is the sac that the baby's in. The gestational sac. Do you want a picture of the sac, or do you want to wait till we can see a heartbeat?
Yeah, let's get a picture of it. So is there a way to tell like whether or not it's a blighted ovum or if it's just, I mean,
That's something they have to diagnose under a microscope, but, obviously, seeing the yolk sac, is a good sign that it's not going to be. I mean, very rarely do we have a sac with the yolk sac in it that never develops. It happens, but it is kind of rare. The biggest indicator of normal right now is just to make sure that it's growing consistently. Even though, it's still too small to see a heartbeat in it, we want it to have grown at least a week since your last ultrasound. So, I'll have to look out there on the other computer and see exactly what it measured to tell if this was adequate growth or not.
okay,
But that's going to be our biggest indicator right now,
just the growth.
until we can see the little heartbeat. Yeah. And did we get a culture last time?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to repeat that today. Now, who is your appointment with today? Do you have an appointment with the doctor, or are you just seeing the nurse? Do you know?
As far as I knew, I was just doing this and my blood work, but I don't know.
Well, normally if I do your ultrasound, I don't do the nursing part, so you have to see a nurse afterwards. So I'm gonna take this out, okay? I'm gonna let you get dressed and I'll meet you out here.